Let go, bad girl. Let go. Let go. Thank you. Oh, you're going after the other one. No. Your rope is right here. Crazy. What? What was that? No, the pencil is not for you. You okay? Lovely. Okay, all right. Hello everyone, we have now reached the chatty part of the video where I just sit here and talk to you guys, most importantly about the books that I have been reading and the books that I have read. Also, this vlog is kind of, I feel like lately my videos have just been like a compilation. Anyway, you know what I mean. A compilation of a bunch of random clips throughout my days. As you guys saw, I did decorate my mini tree for my reading room and office area art studio, and I am very happy with it. And then we decorated my tree downstairs. We've been doing a lot of festive stuff in this household because we're just kind of crazy, Christmas crazy. And I have been doing some holiday reading and some non-holiday reading, but some wintry reading. I have been reading Dr. Zhivago, like I told you guys in my last reading vlog. Also, just so you can see behind me, my desk is a whole mess. You can't see all of it, but the whole thing is a mess. My Etsy stock. Here are all of my Leo Tolstoys. I did restock Tolkien, so everybody who liked Tolkien from the last, I have quite a few. I have been working on my Etsy restock, which I had go live, I think, 2 days ago, and I did tell you guys on my community tab on my YouTube channel, just so that you guys knew, because I wasn't going to be uploading this video yet and I wanted you to know as soon as possible. I talked about it on my Instagram, so if you want like day-to-day updates, my Instagram is always the place to go for that. But yeah, so I've just been kind of doing random things, been writing, been illustrating. You guys saw that was last night. I was illustrating on the couch with Willow because I was just working in my sketchbook because I had a bunch of ideas going and I just wanted to get them down, but my dad put the fireplace on, and the second that my dad puts the fireplace on, I do not move from that spot because I just want to be warm. So that was really nice. Willow was eating the pillow like a crazy person. Anyway, Dr. Zhivago. So you guys also did see that I read Dr. Zhivago sitting in front of the Christmas tree, which was just so cozy and just perfect. It put me in the holiday spirit, even though this is not a Christmassy book. The atmosphere of Dr. Zhivago, the setting, really reminds me of winter, and a lot of it is set in the winter season. Also, can you hear those noises? The people that just moved into the house across the street from me are completely renovating it, so if you hear noises, that's why. My neighbors are renovating their house. So anyway, I've been loving Dr. Zhivago. I am on page 166. I just dropped my sticky tabs. And I just got to a part where our main character, Yuri, is going back to Moscow after being a doctor during the war and his experience with this other main character, Lara. And I love following their storyline. It's just, oh my gosh, their dynamic with each other is so interesting to follow and so interesting to read about. And the way that Pasternak writes it is just breathtaking. There's this one section that right before it's on page 164, I was reading it and I was like, that is incredible. So if you want a little taste of Dr. Zhivago, I thought I would share this passage with you because I just love it so much. And I love sharing quotes. So, okay. 3 years of changes, moves, uncertainties, upheavals. The war, the revolution, scenes of destruction, scenes of death, shelling, blowing up bridges, fires, ruins. All this turned suddenly into a huge, empty, meaningless space. The first real event since the long interruption was this trip in the fast-moving train. The fact that he was approaching his home, which was intact, which still existed, and in which every stone was dear to him. This was real life, meaningful experience, the actual goal of all quests. This was what art aimed at, homecoming, returning to one's family, to one's self, to true existence. I love that, and then it keeps going, I just have to keep going. The woods had been left behind. The train broke out of the leafy tunnels into the open. The sloping field rose from a hollow to a wide mound. It was stripped horizontally with dark green potato beds. Beyond them, at the top of the mound, were cold frames. Opposite the fields, beyond the curving tail of the train, a dark purple cloud covered half the sky. Sunbeams were breaking through it, spreading like wheel spokes and reflected by the glass of the frames in the blinding glare. It's just, oh my gosh. Boris Pasternak is one of the best writers I have ever read from. His descriptions, the emotional intensity of this book is tangible, and I've just been loving every page of it. I have been taking my sweet time reading this book, but when I do take the time to read it, I love every second of it, every word, and I just can't wait to keep reading. And then I did listen to 2 audiobooks, which are annual reads. This is the first time reading them through audiobook though. The first one was A Boy Called Christmas, and the second was The Girl Who Saved Christmas, both by Matt Haig. And then we have the third book, Father Christmas and Me, but this one I didn't listen to on audiobook. I actually only read it for the first time last Christmas Eve, was when I read that, but these I listened to on audiobook. The audiobooks were narrated. The first one was from Stephen Fry, and the second one was from Carey Mulligan, and they were such incredible audiobooks. Oh my god. The way that Stephen Fry and Carey Mulligan brought the stories to life. What I love about really great audiobooks is they feel like the combination of reading a book and listening to a movie, or listening to even music, because some of them are set to music, and it's just so incredible the way that we can take stories and turn them into so many different formats and so many different ways to tell stories, and it's just wonderful to experience, and they put me in the perfect Christmassy spirit. I love these books so much. A Boy Called Christmas just came out as a Netflix film. I watched it the other night and I loved it. It was so great. I really liked how they adapted the book. They were very faithful to it, which I always love. I'm sure we all love as readers when we have faithful adaptations, but it was such a great film, and I think that it translated so well from book to film. These are also fully illustrated by Chris Mould, and Chris Mould is one of my favorite illustrators. He works mainly in ink and pen and ink. Oh, how beautiful is that? Yeah, so I love his work, and I think the combination with illustrations and text is always one of my favorite things about middle grade books. And I definitely want to read more middle grade books, because that's the genre that I'm really interested in writing for and illustrating for, as well as just kids in general, no matter what age. Also adults too, but that's the thing, like, where is the line between writing and illustrating for adults and writing and illustrating for children? I really think that there is no line. There are things that you can't talk about in kids' books, obviously. Everything else you can write for children, you can write for adults too. There really is no, like, this is just for kids, because adults can get as much out of kids' books as kids can, which I filmed a whole video about this topic, the importance of children's literature and its influence, and my favorite illustrators as well. Speaking of my favorite illustrators, I am not in the middle of reading this book, but I am going to be starting it, and I just want to talk a little bit about this illustrator and this book. That is The Marvels by Brian Selznick. I got this book for Christmas last year, and I still haven't read it, and Brian Selznick is one of my favorite illustrators on the face of the earth. He is one of my biggest inspirations. I first read his wonderful book, The Invention of Hugo Cabret. I'll put a picture. And when I was younger, I'll brief story time, because I don't want to take too long to tell this story, but when I was growing up, I wasn't reading up to my grade level. I wasn't reading as quickly as all the other kids my age, and reading was quite a chore for me, and I really didn't enjoy it. I found it really hard to visualize the words that I was reading, and I was more of a visual person, so I took in pictures much more easily than I took in words, which is why I always loved illustrating. I always loved creating pictures because it was what my mind couldn't really do with words. And I was in the library one day and I saw a spine, and it looked exactly like this except a different face, and it is the spine of The Invention of Hugo Cabret. And I saw that spine and it was huge, and so I was really intimidated by big books, and I didn't really enjoy reading at that time. And I saw this book spine of this beautiful illustration that kind of looked like this, and I took it off of the shelf, and I was like, Carolyn, why are you even getting that book off the shelf? You know you can't read a book that big. And I opened it, and it was pictures. It was all pictures just like this, except a different book. I haven't read this one yet. And I thought, oh my gosh, my prayers have been answered. This is exactly what I need. Because some pages were pictures, almost the first 44 pages or 46 pages or something like that are all narrative pictures that kind of play like a movie. They play like cinema. And you get like pans, that it pans into the setting, then we get the scene of the character. So the book is like you're introduced to the setting, to the character, to the starting point of the story through pictures, and then you get the words. So by the time that I was already accustomed with the setting, the characters, and where the story was heading, I already knew so much of the story, which made the words so much more easy for me to understand and to picture, because it was pictured already for me. So I knew what to see when I was reading. And it was this moment, I'm sorry if you can hear the people working outside. It was this moment where I thought, this is genius. This is what I want to do. And the beauty of stories, the beauty of books, the things that we can do with combining words and pictures. And Brian Selznick is just an actual genius in this department. And so that was when I thought, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to do what this person is doing. And so that was my whole introduction to Brian Selznick and my absolute adoration for his work. Last night, and the past few days, because now I'm working as a freelance illustrator, I am trying to figure out all the books. My brain is just in a million different places all the time. And I'm trying to figure out, like, I have a million different story ideas. I have one main one that I'm working on for a novel. I have a bunch that I have ideas for children's books, and I want to make all of them all at once, and that's just not possible. So right now I'm just working on what I have to do right now and my next steps forward. But anyway, I was watching a bunch of videos on YouTube from my favorite illustrators, in particular Chris Van Allsburg, who is the illustrator of The Polar Express and Jumanji and a slew of other amazing books. And I was listening to a talk from him and also Brian Selznick, and I was watching this video last night. Something that I like doing before I go to sleep is getting inspiration for artwork, because a lot of my best ideas come when my eyes are closed and I'm laying in bed and there are no lights on, and my mind can kind of picture everything in my mind without any distractions. It's quiet, it's dark, and my mind can kind of wander and go free. So before I go to bed, sometimes I like to watch videos that are about like illustration or writing, and it really gets my creative juices flowing. It's detrimental to my sleep cycle, but it's great for my process. So anyway, I was watching this video from Brian Selznick, and everything that he was saying was resonating so much with me. So anyway, if you are interested in any of this, then I can't recommend watching that video enough. If you want to hear more about Brian Selznick's books, his inspiration, his whole process, his story, it's an hour and a half of creative inspiration. I spent an hour and a half laying in bed when I should be sleeping watching this video, and I got so much out of it, and it was just like it felt like he was just speaking directly to me, which he wasn't. He had a whole crowd of people listening to him. But I was just like, so much of what he was saying was resonating with me. And then I thought about, he was talking a lot about the Marvels. Oh, look at those end papers. Even the end papers are gorgeous. Just, his books are just works of genius. So the way that the Marvels is structured is the first half of the book is all in picture. Oh, listen to that sound. I love that sound. Okay, so it's all in pictures. It tells one story all in pictures. And then the other half, first, look at that. Like, is that not incredible? Then the other half is all in words. And then yes, so you could see. All in words, and then you hit the pictures in the beginning. And I just can't get over his talent. I was listening to him talk about the Marvels, and I thought, I have it on my shelves and I haven't read it yet. What are you waiting for? And something that I love about Brian Selznick's work is I think it's perfect for the winter. I have no clue why. It's perfect for any time of year, but I always tend to read his books in the winter months. So I'm going to pick this book up at some point today, and just the main whole part of it is pictures. So I want to definitely take my time with it, but what's great about his books is they're huge, but they're immersive. They aren't just narratives, they aren't just pictures, they aren't just words, they are a whole world of experiences. They're cinematic. Brian Selznick was saying in that video that people ask him what he classifies his books as. Are they graphic novels? Are they illustrated novels? What are they? And he has no idea, and he loves that he has no idea. And I love that he has no idea, because they transcend what books are. And I just think that's what is so inspiring about his work. This isn't just a book. This is like a work of art. This is an experience. This is a whole world in itself. This is a whole new way of storytelling, and it's just genius. So anyway, I'm going to be picking this book up soon. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it, and because I just watched that video about Brian Selznick, it's been on my mind now, and I just want to talk about it, and it's so incredibly inspiring as an illustrator, and that's pretty much what I want to do. Like, Brian Selznick, can I have your job? Anyway, and then the other book that I have been reading, I have been listening to it on audiobook because, again, I've been doing so much stuff that, things that I do, like illustrating, wrapping, Etsy orders, I have to listen to something while I do them. I mean, I could make it quiet, but it's more fun listening to things while I do illustrations or wrapping Etsy orders or anything that I do. And so I've been listening to the audiobook of Philip Pullman's his Dark Materials. The first book is The Northern Lights. And this is the first time that I'm reading this book, that I'm reading Philip Pullman. Again, I got this for Christmas last year, or I ordered it right before Christmas for myself. This is the beautiful Everyman's Library edition. I love this cover so much. It weirdly reminds me of the Marvels. I don't know, like I guess because they're very similar in format. But I've really been enjoying this. So I've never read any Philip Pullman before. I know so many people grew up reading this series of books, and it's such a joy. The way that he world builds and creates characters is really interesting, and I'm really enjoying this. Really, I keep repeating really. I've been really enjoying this. Can you tell? And what I love about reading different books, especially middle grade, which the Marvels is technically middle grade, but I think absolutely anyone can read it. Same thing with Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials. Anyone can read it, but what I love about middle grade is I feel like it's no genre. Like, it is a genre, but it's also no genre, because there are really dark themes in this book. There are also, dark themes, not really dark themes, but like darker themes in middle grade, and I feel like they're just done with such delicacy because they're meant for younger kids, but they hold so much power as well, and that's what I'm feeling in Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. But I'm listening to the audiobook that's fully narrated, and so the narrator has a voice from one actor, and then Lyra, the main character, is voiced by another younger actress, and all the characters have different actors that are voicing them, and so it really does feel like I'm listening to a movie. as well as listening to someone tell me a story or read me a book, and I've just been really, really enjoying it. Really. Carolyn, stop with the reallys. Oh my goodness. I have been illustrating a lot, working on a lot of sketches. I don't want to show you yet because I don't want to spoil my surprises. I have been working as well on some author portraits. Again, I want to show you so bad, but I also want to wait for my restocks, and then I have some videos planned for that. And I'm working on a new series of illustrations that I'm going to be doing on my Instagram and just for my portfolio in general. I have a lot of illustration stuff planned, but I don't want to share it with you yet because I want to wait a little bit, work a little bit more. I think that is all that I have to say for today. I think this week my plan is going to be try to get myself into more of a structured situation. My life is a little bit like, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, because I have so many interests, and I'm having a hard time trying to take time and plan out my time properly for all these different things. So I think I just need a bit more structure in my life, which I thrive on structure, but I feel like I'm lacking it. Anyway, rambling. Do you care? Probably not. I'm going to try my best to upload a bit more frequently, make my reading vlogs a bit more immersive as they used to be with just chatting and all that stuff. And I have some fun illustration projects in the works that I'm really excited for you to see because they all relate to books, and I think you hopefully will enjoy them. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you very, very soon. I hope you're reading amazing books. I hope you're having a wonderful December. I hope your holiday season has been off to a great start, and I send you all of my love. So happy reading. Have a great day. Have a great day. And happy reading.